In the notes for 6.2b, we're solving for angles in a linear pair. And so there's two important definitions that we're going to start off with for this one. The first one is the word supplementary. And so two angles or more, it could be more than two angles, but it's angles whose measure adds to equal 180 degrees. So in the picture over here, if you have one angle that's 130, and if you have one angle that's 50, 130 plus 50 equals 180. So those are supplementary. If you have two angles that add up to equal 180 degrees, and if they share a vertex, and if they share a side, those two angles are called a linear pair. And one of the important parts of the definition for a linear pair is that the first four letters in the word spell out the word line. So two angles that make a linear pair add up to equal a straight line, and those angles will always they'll always add up to equal 180 degrees. In example number 1 that's already done out, we don't know how big this angle is, we don't know how big this angle is, but we know that the two angles make a straight line, which means that they're a linear pair. So when I set up my equation to solve for x, I know that this piece plus this piece equals 180 degrees. I'm not setting the two pieces equal to each other, I'm saying they add up to equal 180. And so when I solve for x, I'll combine like terms, I get x equals 12. And then once you know what x is equal to, you plug it into whatever it is that you're trying to find. On this one, it wants me to find each of the two pieces. So when I plug 12 into the first one, I'll plug it in for x right here. So I'll do 4 times 12 is 48 plus 6 is 54. And then I'll take the same 12 that I got for x and I'll plug it in for this one right here. 11 times 12 is 132, minus 6 is 126. So when you write your answer to the question, you get what x is equal to, and then you get the two pieces for the angle. Notice how there's a note here that says that this piece plus this piece should add up to equal 180 degrees. Because they make a straight line, you can check your work and make sure that the two numbers you got add up to equal 180. So on B, we'll set it up the same way. This one has three angles. I don't know how big this one is. I don't know how big this one is, but I do know that the box over here means that this angle is 90 degrees, and the three angles all together make a straight line. So for this one, I'll say that 2x plus 3x plus 90 is equal to 180 degrees, and then I'll go through and I'll solve for x from there. Anytime two angles make a straight line, or in this case three angles make a straight line, you can set them equal to 180, and then you can solve for x from there. So I'll get x is equal to 18, and then knowing that x is equal to 18 will let me solve to find the angles that I'm looking to solve for. I can actually fill in this one right away, angle CBE, that one's 90 degrees, and I can tell that just from the picture. And so to finish, to find my other two answers, they want me to find the measure of angle ABD, and that's this one right here. So 2 times 18, so that one's 36 degrees. And then to find the last answer, I'm not just going to subtract it from 180. To find the measure of angle DBC, I'm actually going to plug it in because I want to be able to check my work. So 3 times 18, that gives me 54 degrees. And so here are my answers. I'll put a box around my answers. And then just make a note for yourself that to check this one, if you wanted to make sure that you had gotten the right answer, all three of these angles, because there were three parts to start, should add up to 180 degrees total. And if you check by adding 36, 54, and 90, they do in fact add up to 180 degrees, so you know you got the question right.